It's going to be Thomas Petersen versus Jamal Pogues. I think that this is going to be a fight, maybe not the highest level fight, but I think it's going to be a decent fight nonetheless. Now, Thomas Petersen, the train, I believe that this is going to be his UFC debut. He is 8-1 right now, 4-1 in his last five. I think he's coming off the Contender Series win where he pulled off a submission, I believe. And as far as Jamal Pogues, he is 10-4, 3-2 in his last five. He's coming off that loss against Mick Parkins. Right now, Jamal Pogues and Thomas Petersen. Thomas Petersen is actually the minus 163 favorite, opened up at a minus 270. So some dog action has been taken on Jamal Pogues there. Gerard, I'll let you go ahead and start off the breakdown for this prelim fight. What do you think about Thomas Petersen versus Jamal Pogues?
So this fight, these heavyweights, Thomas Petersen, he looks pretty patient on the feet, and he doesn't seem to rush things. And for a heavyweight, this guy, he looks like he really has some serious real wrestling pressure, something that Jamal Pogues, I don't think he has seen in his recent fights. Um, Jamal Pogues, he probably has the striking advantage, and he likes to just stick and move a little bit. But watching his striking, he doesn't look that dangerous. He doesn't have like that devastating pop or power, it seems. And one of his fights, I think it was Contender Series, he was facing a 220-pound fighter, and he was even getting held up against a cage by a smaller guy. And the smaller guy wasn't giving Pogues that much respect. So I don't know if Pogues will be able to keep Thomas Petersen from pressuring him and wrestling him from the striking aspect. So I see why Thomas Petersen is a slight favorite here. So yeah, my pick here is Petersen, low confidence on these heavyweights, but yeah, that's my pick here.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I have a similar view of how the fight's going to go down, but I think I'm going the other direction, but kind of similar views. Thomas Peterson, obviously a wrestler. He's a heavyweight, but not the biggest frame for the division. His frame kind of reminds me at times of like a Jake Collier in a way.
Mm.
Good wrestler. I think he can shoot for takedowns. Well versed in a lot of body lock takedowns as well, and I believe that he also has some good ground and pound once on top. I think that he's just an okay striker, though. I mean, he has a bit of pop on the shots, but mainly he uses his basic straights. He can dirty box it well as well, fight in the pocket and in the clinch. I think that he does most of the time keep his chin protected, but he does go in reckless at times when he sees an opening, especially if he wants to go in for a takedown. And I think that he also relies on the durability and the chin as well for him. He does have unproven cardio. We have not seen him have a decision so far in his career. I think that the only fight that he was KO'd so far was when he went to round three, and it was almost the near end of the fight, and he got knocked out by Waldo Cortez Acosta on not in the UFC, but prior to the UFC. Jamal Pogues, I actually think he's pretty well rounded, shown to have average skills in wrestling and striking. He's able to use his strength and size to drag opponents down to the ground. I also think that he surprisingly scrambles well for a fighter his size. Good ground control, top control. He does use boxing mainly as a striking base. Pumps out some good volume for a heavyweight. Good jab as well. He does leave his chin exposed at times, so he can get hit. The thing that I do like about Pogues is that he does have proven cardio in UFC bouts. All of his UFC bouts so far have ended in decision. He is 5-1 in career decision victories or record. And overall, though, I believe that this will be a sloppy heavyweight fight, and Pogues will sneak out a decision based on his proven cardio. I think that he'll sprawl and brawl his way to a victory. I would recommend waiting until weigh-ins if you're going to be on the Pogue side because he did show up pretty out of shape in his last fight and against Mick Parkins. And it was really noticeable if you see a before and after picture of him on the scales in the Parkins fight compared to his other fights. And I think that affected his cardio in a major way. And Mick Parkins was just able to outgun him pretty much in a 3 round fight. So if Pogues looks great on the scale, I think he's the side here. My pick here is going to be Pogues by decision. Like Gerard, though, I believe that this is a low confidence pick for me. I do like the over 1.5 -240 as a potential parlay piece, but let's go wait and see how Pogues looks and how Petersen looks as well. But if they both look great, looks like they're have good cardio for the fight. I think that the over 1.5 could be a good play there.